But the man who can master this side of himself, I'll tell you, he has the world. He has the world in his hand. He can literally create any environment, anything he wants. But all it takes is a little bit of discipline to look at her and, yes, I see your body. Of course I see your body. I see your ass. You're beautiful. Of course I want to release with you. But I'm going to look away. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as, yes, I see you. Every being, every fiber in my body wants to look at you, wants me to turn around and look you up and down and just look at this woman. She's beautiful. But it's about who you become. Your character, your growth, your holding of your own seed and your own energy when you look the other way. Right? There's a magic that happens when you are noble and you respect yourself and you don't lower yourself to the activity of dogs, of filth, of desperation. Right? You're looking at her in a desperate way. That's the problem. You're not looking at her like a king would look at her. You're not vetting her. You're not looking at her flaws. You're only seeing the external. And the external will always mislead you. It will always lie to you and deceive you and manipulate you and take something from you. In that exchange, as little as it may be of you just looking at this person with your eyes, you are losing more than you initially thought you would. In the long run, you're losing, right? It's all in how you look at the person. Be careful with how you look at women. Remain aware of how you engage with women, how you look at them. You always, always, always have to be aware of this because it becomes a habit if left unchecked, if left unwitnessed, unobserved. It will manifest into ugliness and more lower vibrational energy if you do not check this. I used to do this myself all the time until I really had to hammer it into my own soul. This is not the way, right? Being a degenerate, looking at women with this thirst, with this, it's not even admiration. It's just this perverted sort of energy of a taker. You just want to take energy. You just want to take her beauty and you want to just be selfish with it. You just want to dirty it up. There's that energy in every man. Don't get me wrong. That's in all of us. There's a monster there, right? There's a dragon to be conquered. They call lust, right, in Ayurvedic culture, they call it the dragon that must be slayed, right? It's the dragon, it's the serpent. It's that evil in every one of us, that temptation that we all must conquer in order to reach the divinity in it deep in us as well, right? How can you transcend? How can you conquer yourself if there was no struggle? So there's a beauty about the lust that wants to drag you down. It's there for a reason. It's because it's a test by the universe, by God, by everything, to see if you are actually going to become a better man. Are you ready? Right? Because the majority of men are simply not. Simply never ready. Right? I gotta look. That's a big old ass. Nature Boy, you telling me not to look at that cake? That's a whole birthday cake, Nature Boy. You telling me not to look at that? Yes, I'm telling you not to look. You can look once, right? We'll make a rule. You and me, right now, we're going to make a rule. Here's the rule. And this is true. This is what I do. Because obviously you're going to look, right? Big old ass, goes into your vision, beautiful girl, cute face, whatever, right? She's going to be right in front of you. Of course you're going to look. You're an aware person. She's going to catch your eye, right? As would any man, right? That just comes out of nowhere. You're going to look at them, acknowledge their presence. That's the first look, right? You look at her once. And then, here's the magic part. Here's the kicker. You look away. You look away. You avert your gaze. You look somewhere else. You look at the sky. You stay... Just look at the sky. Even if you look like an idiot, I don't care. Look at the ground. You have to control your eyes, because where your eyes are is where your attention flows to. And where your attention flows to is where you pick up and exchange that energy that we're trying so hard to conserve and preserve and transmute. But how can you transmute it if you're always leaking energy? You're always leaking high vibrational energy, leaking your purity, right? Cleanliness is holiness. Let's keep you cleanly, right? Call it the one look rule. You have one time to look at her, right? Okay, there she is. I acknowledge her. She's got a great butt. Hello there. Nice to meet you. Right? Maybe talk to her if you want. If not, keep it moving. You're a busy guy. Forget about it, right? As I said before, the issue is when you look at her, you look away, but then you keep looking back, right? You look at, she's looking at you. Okay, she's not looking at me. I'm going to look at her some more, right? It gets weird. It gets distorted. It gets, the energy behind the act is the problem, right? The person that you are that does that perverted act is the problem. It's not so much the act itself, right? Let's say you're just really curious about her. Something about her is just makes you want to look, right? That's normal. Sometimes you want to stare at people. I get that. I stare at people too. But it's where you're coming from when you do it, right? And you can't lie to me about that. You can't lie to yourself about that. You know when you're being filth. You know when you're being a degenerate. And you know, it's the same type of energy. That same type of energy that's looking at her like a snack is the same type of energy that can't wait to get home, go on the corn hub, and just start opening different tabs, right? And before you know it, you are just setting yourself back even further. And you're back into your old habits. And you're exactly where you don't want to be. Why go that way when you could just elevate and become a better man? And every aspect of your life could be so beautiful, so rich, so full of life and essence. There's weight to everything you do. Everything you do in this life is just enhanced when you're on retention. And you hold this beautiful energy. And you use it to work out. You use it to read and develop yourself and create mastery in some skills. You use it to put it into a business. You use it to create wealth. You use it to network and create beautiful relationships. There is so many different other avenues you could use with this energy that you are a damn fool to just spill it, to just be willy-nilly with your eyes and look at everything that is trying to grab your attention, right? Everything in this world, everything in this society is just trying to grab your attention. Hey, look at this big old pair of tits, right? Look at this girl running in tight leggings. Or this one doing, like YouTube, you be scrolling and there's just like a girl like bent over on a sofa, like, look at me doing yoga, right? Like, here's downward dog with her ass in the camera, right? It's normal. That's the normal. That's the default. And that is the problem. I'll put you on game. This is what it takes to break out of that relapse cycle, right? This is the truth. It will always start with your mind, right? You have to pay attention to your thoughts, right? That is what will eventually cause you to touch yourself down there, right? To binge, to want to do all of that and lead you down that road to where ultimately you let your seed go. It always starts with your mind. You have to 1000% remain like a guard dog protecting his owner, like a guardian angel watching out for the chosen one. You have to be watching out and guarding the purity of your own mind at all times, right? I was reading something about men and how they look at women and how that will ultimately lead them to a relapse if they're not careful, right? They'll get horny, especially young men. When you're really young, it doesn't take much to get you going, and you just want to release. It just sounds so good, right? You can just feel it. Oh, I'm gonna do that for sure. Oh, whew. And a trick you can use is you have to change the way you look at women, right? You're still that sneeze wiped me out. You're still heavily sexualizing women when you look at them. The difference between a man who can go on a long streak and a man who ultimately relapses pretty quickly is the man who can go on a long streak knows how to control his mind. He knows the game. He knows the trap that girl is setting him up for, right? Or the world is trying to test him. Okay, here's a beautiful girl in your path. Are you still going to hold on to the seed? Or here's an ad, or here's an Instagram story, right? You never know when hypersexualized content is going to hit you. That's the thing. You have to be always aware, always vigilant, always ready to stay focused. You have to zero in, lock in on what's actually important. Because when your attention is everywhere, your seed is going to be everywhere. When you're unfocused, there's no way you can hold the seed in your body. There's no discipline. There's no focus. There's no higher purpose to even hold the seed. Why would I need to hold it? There's nothing for me here to do. I'm distracted. I have no higher ambitions or goals. I'm going to be stuck here. I might as well fap, right? Doesn't sound that bad, honestly. You might as well release the seed if you're doing nothing with your life, right? So I understand that mindset too. It takes a certain man. It takes a man who's ready to build something. A man who's tired of his old life. A man who's tired of his old friends and his old relationships and his current environment. He's tired of it. It takes a man who wants to really fundamentally change, right? Only until you get to that point where you want change more than you want release will you start actually changing your life by honoring the discipline of semen retention. And you'll see these little events that transpire and unfold in your daily life, these little tests everywhere you look, right? Do this throughout your day, 24 hours throughout your week, 7 days a week. Pay attention to every time something gets you going, hey, right? A girl at the gym just looks, she knows what she's doing. She's wearing something a little tight. She's wearing something a little, make you want to do something. Pay attention to that feeling. Pay attention to the power that has over you. You have to be aware of that feeling, right? When a girl walks by, when a girl's locking eyes with you, how do you feel, right? What does that make you want to do? And why do you feel like there's this power, this energy being taken away from you when you engage with this sexual energy dynamic with an attractive woman? Whether it's on a screen, whether it's on TV, whether it's in public, whether it's just some girl that's thirsty for your attention. There's always like a pulling. There's always like a force, right? And I'll tell you that force always, like 90, 80% of the time is going to lead you to relapsing. Because that pleasureful feeling when you look at her, you will build on that thought. You will say, hey, you know what? She's so beautiful, she makes me want to just release. She makes me want to lose it all. She's that beautiful. She's that attractive to you, right? But is it ever worth it? Is it ever worth it? When has it ever been worth it? Right? The only time it would minusculely be worth it is if you release with that attractive woman, right? But any time where you're just touching your own self, you're by yourself, you could be doing anything greater to improve yourself, but yet here you are wasting your energy telling yourself that it's okay. One more time, it's never worth it. Never. You will only wish you hadn't done it. And all that beauty, all that creative energy that wants to flow through you is lost temporarily. But it's just another setback. It's another chance to learn to do better next time. Wherever the sheep are, wherever they are, you never want to be there with them. Because the sheep, they're being led to be slaughtered. They're being taken to a place you don't want to go to. And if you follow the sheep long enough, that's exactly where you'll end up. Slaughtered, alone, and a degenerate. with nothing to show for in your life. Keep retaining your seed, Nature's Underground family. It was a pleasure speaking to you again. I cannot wait to make another video right after this one. I'm going to be back in your life. Keep staying tuned. Keep being on your discipline, man. It is a pleasure to be back. You know I love you. Even though I don't make videos for like 10 years. You know I love you. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Much love. Stay strong. Stay up. Stay positive. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.